Hello everyone, welcome to yet another weekly analysis. Normally we post our videos on Sundays, but we ran into some technical difficulties, so we've posted today. The markets are already moving. But people are quite confused. People are quite confused. And I'll take this off, right? People are quite confused. People do not know where the market is headed. You know that is why it's very important for you to use the highest time frame. Top analysis, we use the monthly time frame. From the monthly time frame, we go down to the weekly, daily to look for to trade into a direction. Now for Euro USD, we are still bearish. I'll say this again. For Euro USD, we are still bearish. It is a new month, a new monthly candle is forming up. So I expected a pullback. Now I'll show what I'm saying. For USD, we are very much bearish. Until we break this structure right here, we are still bearish on USD. Now that is the most important thing. It is very important to understand, to have a direction, a final direction, a direction that is just based off of one time frame, one market structure, not indicators, not tools, not trend line, no nothing. Simple based market structure, right? So on the monthly time frame, we come to look for the trend. Overall trend of the market is from the monthly time frame, we are bearish. Now on the weekly time frame, we seem to be having quite a pullback, but it is still a pullback nevertheless. Now on the weekly time frame, we are still bearish. The reason being, we formed a chart pattern, double top, break of the neckline. We formed a chart pattern, and it's looking like we're having a pullback into the demand level. It's on the same level we sold off of 2 weeks ago. You could go back to the video we made 2 weeks ago. You will see the same place we're selling off of, right? So on the weekly time frame, we are expecting the market to respect this level so we could sell back down. That is what we are planning. That's what we are expecting. That is what we've planned in our journals, right? Now, on the daily time frame, I need you to understand how we are going from time frame to time frame, looking at looking at what's happening, and then judging off of the overall trend on the market. We're not coming to the weekly time frame to see if it's bullish or bearish, or if daily time frame if it's bullish or bearish. Then whichever has majority wins. No, a definite direction, a finite direction, bearish. So I come to the weekly time frame to make sure I'm trading in that direction, right? Daily time frame, make sure I'm trading in that direction. Now in the daily time frame, we are still bearish. Yes, we are still bearish. Structural wise, we are still bearish. Everything is saying bearish. Monthly time frame is bearish, weekly time frame is bearish, the daily time frame is bearish. Everything is saying bearish on the Euro USD. Do not be involved in buys. I'll say this again. Do not be involved in buys until the weekly time frame says otherwise. Then maybe you can look for short-term buys. But I repeat, do not be involved in buys on Euro USD. Look for sales. Excuse me. Look for what sells. On Euro USD, the only way we become bullish is when we break structure. So lower low, this is one high, lower high, and then lower low. We are putting in a lower high right here. We are still putting in a lower high because we refuse to put in a lower low. So until we break this structure right here, until we break this overall structure right here, right, then we'll become bullish. Until then, we are looking for what? Sells. So in Euro USD, we are still very much bearish. We're looking to sell, short the market to the downside. Now, this is how I will execute. Now I need you to know that this is my thought process. When I'm looking for entry, this is my thought process, right? Because I'm making this video right now when the market has already got into our area of interest, right? Now this is my thought process on Euro USD. I need a break of counter trend line and a break of structure. This is how I execute, right? It's simple. It is the same thing every time. Rinse and repeat. That's the thing about trading. You do not have to master 10 strategies or 5 strategies. All you need is one. Master one. And when you master one, right, this is how it goes, right? When you pick one and you master one, right, either you're a swing or you're a scalper. But when you pick one, style of trading and you master it, it becomes boring. Yes, it becomes boring because now you're not looking for anything, you're waiting for it to come to you. Trading becomes boring by the time you start looking at, when you start getting successful, it becomes boring. I'm telling you. Because now when you master trading, it becomes boring because now you're looking for one thing. You're not looking to execute when somebody tells you to. You're not looking to execute when you see just anything. You're looking for one thing, you're waiting for the market to come to what to you. Now on Euro USD, I need what? A break of counter trend line, like so, and also a break of structure. And then I would execute off of the retest of this left shoulder and then sell. This would be my thought process on Euro USD. This is how I will execute Euro USD. Now, if anything else play out, I would not be executing if the market decides to, blow all the way to the upside. No, I'm out, right? If the market decided to go all the way to the upside, I'm not looking to sell, right? So on USD, like I said before, wait for a break of counter trend line, wait for a break of structure, and then sell. Proper stop loss from the 4-hour time frame, and then sell. This is my first take profit. This is where my first TP will be. When the market gets here, I take majority, I close majority, and I expect to sell all the way to the downside from the next level, which is 1.14500 right here. 1.14500. Now, we need the DXY to corroborate our story. The DXY, this is how I met it, this is how I would use it, right? You have to understand that you have to use what you've met, or what your mentors have told you, right? You cannot come and change it, right? So on the DXY, we come on to the higher time frame, which is the monthly time frame. The DXY tells us exactly what we need to do. We are still bullish rather on the DXY because we have not broken structure, which is right here. Now we seem to be forming rather a double bottom on the monthly time frame. Now it is not a double bottom because we have not broken the neckline on the monthly time frame, right? So since we know we are bullish on the monthly time frame, we come to the weekly time frame to see what's happening, what's going to happen, where are we headed, right? Because sometimes the Euro USD might tell you otherwise, but the DXY will tell you where it is indeed headed. I've seen it happen before. You need the DXY to clarify your view of the market, right? If you're trading the dollar, right? So on the DXY, we've come into the same area of interest we had from 2 weeks ago, and we're looking to bounce off of it. We're expecting to, right? Now it may not. That's one thing you need to understand, right? It may not even bounce off of it, but we're expecting to. So on the DXY, we are still bullish on the daily time frame because we've created a higher high. We body closed above this right here, I think, and then we're expecting the market to body close above this last low, or else the daily time frame becomes bearish. But since the weekly time frame is still bullish, right, I'll still be looking for longs, right? But on the DXY, we are looking good because we've come into the same area of interest that we saw a bounce off of the last time, and we're expecting a bounce. It is important. I'm not looking to sell when the market breaks below. No, 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 no. We don't do that here, right? If the market breaks below, retest. No, we don't do that here, right? I'm looking to buy. I have a final direction in mind. I see it's bullish. I take it and I put it in my pocket and I roll with it, right? Because trust me, I've had opportunities or trades where I come into the market and I see, oh, it's bullish and it's bearish, or and I want to do whatever it tells me to do. I want to do what I know it's going to happen, right? If I come into the market, right, and I see, oh, it's bullish, and I buy, and then tomorrow is bearish and I sell, trust me, in the long run, if I continue like that, it is going to make me a loser, right? So I come into that's the difference between people who trade and people who go to the casino, right? You have to go to the casino with a definite with a definite number in mind. If you're going to play, if you're going to play blackjack and you're going to play, just the number seven, then you keep on playing seven, playing seven, playing seven with the same, risk in mind. That is how you think like a trader, right? So I'm coming in here looking to buy until the market tells me otherwise. The DXY is bullish, meaning the dollar is bullish, and then the Euro USD is bearish, right? It's as simple as ABC. I've laid out the entry strategy. I've laid out the exit strategy. It's as simple as that. We do not have to do anything otherwise. Trust me. If somebody tells you to do anything otherwise, it's just noise. Trading becomes boring when you are successful. Trading becomes boring when you've mastered it, right? So that's it for this week, right? It's simple, right? It's simple. Just wait for the entry, wait for break of structure, and not all, and the break of counter trend line. I need to see two or more, entry, signals. So break of structure, break of counter trend line. Trust me, I've tested it. It works for me. You need to do what works for you. It works for me. Some people might just execute off of a break of corner trend line and make money. I have to wait for a break of structure and a break of corner trend line because I am a structural trader. I trade based on market structure. I do not trade off based off indicators or based off of support and resistance or price. I trade off of market structure. If the markets are telling me it's bullish structural, why it is bullish. I do not care if there's a break of corner trend line. I do not care. That's all for this week. I hope and I pray that everyone follows their trading plan. Happy new month. Ciao ciao.